A lot of relationships have conflict because although you feel like you're loving on a person as best as you can, they feel unloved, unsupported, and unappreciated. And you're confused because you have evidence of ways that you go hard to show them you care. But the reason your love is getting lost in translation is because you're not speaking their love language. And Dr. Gary Chapman has written an amazing book called The Five Love Languages, and I encourage you to read it to learn more about the subject. But high level, the five love languages are words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, receiving gifts, and physical touch. Now, in this video, I want to talk about people who have the love language physical touch. And to these people, touch is worth more than 1,000 words. Say it with me. Touch is worth more than 1,000 words. One more time for the people in the back. Touch is worth more than 1,000 words. So if they're having a challenging time, you might be saying all the right things. You might be providing solutions. You might be, giving them encouraging words. You might be saying all of the right things. But the problem is your words mean so little, but your touch means so much. So if they're stressed, if they're scared, if they're sad, if they're upset, they don't need to hear you. They need to feel you. And if this is your love language, comment below the type of touch you like to receive from the people in your life. And what's interesting is when some hear physical touch, they immediately think sex. But sex is just one dialect of this love language. And if the only time you want to be touched is during sex, physical touch is not your love language. But if you like long hugs, if you love to cuddle and kiss and anything, if you're just a touchy-feely person, if you're so touchy-feely, you want to really hold hands during prayer. If when COVID happened, it broke your heart because you couldn't hug and handshake with people and all that stuff, physical touch is probably your love language. And if you're not a touchy-feely person, but the people you're connected to, that's their love language, I encourage you to start small. And one of the best ways you can start is just get real comfortable hugging people when you see them and before you leave them. And, if you are on this journey right now and learning to speak physical touch because someone you love, that's their love language, comment below some things that are working for you. But I promise you don't have to overthink it. You could do something as simple as put your hand on their back. You could do something as simple as getting arm in arm when you're walking down the street or, holding their hands when you pray. Like any situation where you see an opportunity to touch them, take advantage of it. And I want you to be patient with yourself and I want you to be kind to yourself because learning another love language is like learning a language. Think about when you first learned to speak your native language. It didn't come easily. It didn't come effortlessly to you. You had to practice. You had to be patient with yourself. So be patient with yourself and have some fun. This is one of the funnest love languages. So have some fun while you're doing it. And just remember that touch is worth more than 1,000 words to people with this love language.